Morning YouTube, the name's Father Dugan 9000 and I'm here with my second review for Vectorman for the Sega Mega Drive, released in 1995 and developed by Blue Sea Studios. Yay! I really have to stop going yay now. Probably because of games like Donkey Kong Country for the Super Famicom and Killer Instinct, game developers started to give a shite about the graphics as much as the gameplay. And this was one of the many games on the Sega Mega Drive that showed what it could exactly do. Instead of horribly drawn sprites that make you want to throw up, we got stuff like this. And this was of many of the games that came up for the Sega Mega Drive that... Oh yeah, I mentioned that already. So the story. It's typical robotic fare these days in humanity. In 40 years or something, the Earth has become so polluted by humans, what, not by politicians? That's a surprise. That all the humans have left the Earth and have left orbits or robots. Ooh, look, I'm so clever, I switched a few letters around, ha 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 ha! So they leave the orbits, or robots as I'm just gonna call them, I'm too bored to actually say orbits, to clean up the Earth for when they get back. But I'm like, Wally, it doesn't get boring. And one of the robots named Razter accidentally attaches himself to a nuclear warhead, goes barmy, calls himself Warhead, and takes over the entire planet and decides to kill humans when they show up. Meanwhile, but there is one robot that was not on the planet that is not controlled by Warhead. Vectorman! Why is he called Vectorman? It's like... it's like the guy who created Vectorman went away from Vincent Price from the Nostalgia Critics Thief and Cobbler review and could see into the future or something. Okay, I'm not gonna call him Vectorman, I'm just gonna call him Scruffy for the sake of something anyways. So Scruffy comes back from dumping absolute shite on another planet, and it's when he finds out that Warhead has, well, obviously taken over the robots and the world pretty much. So playing as Vectorman, obviously, I mean, who are you supposed to play as? The power-ups? Oh yeah, you can. You're supposed to stop Warhead, get to the end of the levels and all that shite. And as a Mega Drive game, it's obviously a 2D side-scroll with amazing graphics. Come on, these graphics are freaking legendary! I mean, unless you're one of those evil people I hate that say any good thing or form of media over 10 years old is gay, especially you, Keith, who I absolutely hate because you are evil. Come on, unless you're one of those evil people, you have to admit the graphics are amazing considering what they came out on. I mean, sure, they don't go to the level of Sonic 3D Flicky's Island, but, well, okay, that was pretty good, but again, it's still good here. Your objective is simple. Get to the end of each level and shoot the crap out of enemies. I was playing the game with the Sega Mega Drive Ultimate Collection on the Xbox 360, but I used the ABC control scheme. You use the A and B buttons to shoot and the C button to jump. A, B, and C are placed on the 360 controller to X, A, and B respectively, or square, X, and circle if you're playing the PlayStation controller. There are many enemies that can kick your ass, and it shows that the game is pretty hard. Unless you use the debug menu like I am, it's kind of unlikely that you'll get past the first level unless you are really, really good at games. And I don't know how good at games you have to be, but I'm guessing it has to do something with beating Jack 2 or something, I guess. There are a load of TVs all over the place, and each of them contain various power-ups. The first one are little orb things that restore your health by either a bit, 2 bits, or the entire thing. The second power-up you can find are actually score multipliers. You'll be very lucky if you get a 10 like I got in one of the clips here. And the third power-up should be little floating things that'll give you extra kinds of weapons to shoot with. You could get a shotgun, a spread fire thing, you could shoot rapidly, even fiery nunchucks of light thing, whatever they're meant to be. And finally, little transforming power-ups which can turn you into which can allow you to swim, turn into a little bomb to blow up walls you couldn't blow up before, or any of that shite that pops up there. There's about 15 levels in the game, about 12 of them are proper levels, and the other 3 are bonus levels. which, aside from one, are absolutely shite. Because, well, they leave no indication on what you're supposed to do. I mean, when I'm dancing, how am I supposed to get rid of all the tornadoes when the timer runs out? It's just stay alive, so I assumed stay alive until time runs out, and you'll go to the next level. Why not go with that? I mean, it's not that hard to do. It's gaming mechanics at its simplest. What is wrong with you, Blue Sky? Or Blue Sea, or whatever? What is wrong with you? I realize I'm sort of nitpicking on some things, but I'm possibly more credible than IGN. Well, nowadays, anyways, I don't know if they were good at all back then. I don't know. They're only useful for walkthroughs, in my opinion. There is one flaw in this game that actually screws out more. It's not the difficulty or the shite bonus stages. It's the length. It is short, even by Mega Drive standards, and that is pretty humiliating. I mean, if you're shorter than other games that are pretty short on the console, that isn't a good sign. I mean, if you use a debug mode or not to jump around levels, you could be finished within a half hour or something. And I know I never beat the final boss and all that, but well, I didn't know how to beat him. I was on little health when I actually got to the level, and I just decided I played far enough in the game, feck it. So, okay, maybe this isn't as good as my first review, but I am going to say that Vectorman is a pretty fun game. Amazing graphics, solid shooting action, and the music's pretty good, but Vectorman has a legendary voice. The downsides are unfortunately that it gets a bit too difficult sometimes, that unless you have double the health you usually have, you're possibly not going to get past the first level. Enemies are... okay, no, it's not to do with enemies. Shite bonus stages, and it's pretty short. But is it fun as a Mega Drive game? And today, as a Mega Drive game, yes. As a Mega Drive game, it gets an 8 out of 10. But as a today's game, it gets about a 7.5 out of 10 because at least its swimming isn't rubbish. I am the Sleeping Fox. It's a personal nickname, and I'll see you for my next review, which, if it works, could possibly be Legend of Cat for the PlayStation 2. Oh my God, I love cats.